The last thing to do is to add seam allowances. Select Seam Allowance tool and hover over a segment. It will highlight blue. Left-click on it and seam allowance will be added. We can do it one segment at a time or drag over all pattern pieces and add seam allowances everywhere at the same time. We can set the width of the seam allowance in the property editor. The default is 1 centimeter, but we can change it to whatever we want by selecting the segment and then typing in the new value. You can also have a variable seam allowance width. In the Width drop-down menu, select Point. Now you can set a different seam allowance for the start and the end of the segment. You will notice that seam type selection has start, end, and intersection options. These control the look of the seam allowance. Simply select the segment with Seam Allowance tool and choose from the drop-down menu. To change the intersection type, the segments have to be connected. Click on the segment point joining the segments and select from the options. When we add seam allowances to a pattern piece with a dart, we will have to adjust them. Click on the tip of the dart with Seam Allowance tool, and intersection option will have 2 additional options for dart seam allowance, depending on the direction the dart will be pressed. To delete seam allowance, click on it with Seam Allowance tool and hit Delete or Backspace on the keyboard, or right-click and select Delete. Just like annotations and symbols, we can switch them off in 2D window shortcuts, 2D pattern display, show seam allowances. However, if the Seam Allowance tool is activated, the seam allowances will be displayed regardless.